himself just let you know a bit more.
Well, thanks, Tracy. My name is Rob. I'm the company administrator at Healthwatch Rochdale. I think Tracy's covered everything with general housekeeping. If you just like to keep yourselves on mute if you're not speaking, just so we don't get interference. We hope you enjoy the presentations. I'm going to hand over to Kalsoom now from Rochdale Council, and I'll share my screen with the presentation for you.
Thank you, Rob. My name's Kalsoom, and I'm a Contracts and Quality Monitoring Manager at the Adult Care Commissioning team. And I'm here to talk to you about our carer services and the current offer that we have in the borough. Slide 2, Rob, please. So what is a carer? A carer is someone of any age who supports unwaged a relative, partner or friend who, due to physical or mental illness, disability, frailty or addiction, could not manage without their support. In GM, which is Greater Manchester, we have approximately 280,000 carers, not including those who do not identify themselves as carers. Our Carers Hub in Rochdale has over 2,500 carers registered on their database, but this figure is likely to be higher due to the number of hidden carers. We believe all carers have a right to be respected, valued and supported equally in their caring role as experts for their cared for and as individuals in their own right. So as part of Greater Manchester offer, we've developed a commitment to carers. That's a collective agreement across Greater Manchester towards our approach to carer support and commitment to improve their experience and outcomes. We've got a Greater Manchester Carers Charter, and under the Carers Charter, you can expect to be identified as a carer as early as possible, be informed, be respected, included by health and social care professionals, to have choice and control about your caring role, to get personalised support, to be able to stay healthy and well for yourself and for your own needs as an individual, to be recognised and supported, because we understand that a carer's health does get affected because they're actually caring for the cared for. The Carers Charter also wants carers to be socially connected and not isolated, to be supported to fulfil education and employment potential, and where possible, maintain employment. We've also got an offer for young carers or young adult carers so that they can be supported to develop and thrive educationally, personally and socially. And we also value the expert and expertise that carers and feedback that carers bring to improve their carer experience. Identification is a major issue. The majority of carers take years to recognise their caring role, and we can only do this through publicity, through awareness campaigns, through self-identification, through our carers offer, Carers Week and awareness sessions. Through better identification, through the whole system, we can ensure that carers get the right help at the right time to stop them going into crisis. Next slide, Rob, please. The Greater Manchester Charter has formal local recognition, and local commissioning models should align to a Greater Manchester universal support offer for unwaged carers. So this is called the exemplar model for carer support, which is a high-level framework that's been developed across GM as part of our co-production Greater Manchester offer. It has a 3-conversation, strength-based model. The first is a universal information where everyone has access to support and guidance, where people can be signposted for help and support. The next one is a single point of contact for local carers, where there's a carer centre, where people can identify themselves as a carer and get some specialist help. In Rochdale, we have the Rochdale Carers Hub. And the third conversation is the statutory carers assessment that's currently carried out by Adult Care, and this is linked to a carer's budget. And this is when the carers' needs are reviewed and they have access to some a carer's assessment. Next slide, please.
Come back down.
The model that we have in Rochdale is that we provide a single point of access for young and adult carers in the borough. The Rochdale Carers Hub exists to ensure that carers of all ages have access to information and advice and a wide range of support. This support is designed to help carers continue in their caring role for as long as they choose to, as long as it doesn't have a detrimental impact on their own health and well-being. First and foremost is identification. We need to make sure that information and advice is available to carers to help them continue in their caring role. This allows carers to exercise choice and control when making decisions. We need to make sure that we're providing the right help at the right time that will help with the carers' health and well-being. Information about carer service, the ability to stay healthy and well for their own needs and wishes needs to be recognised and supported so that carers are not socially isolated and have some support networks. We also need to support carers in the workplace. Many carers give up their career in order to take on caring duties after someone close to them becomes ill. The move out of work can be sudden and unpaid. Many have no employment or many have to work reduced hours and are more likely to suffer financial hardship. The adoption of a more flexible approach to employment and supporting carers in the workplace is something that employers should look at. And at GM, there's an employer's toolkit that has been designed, that has been rolled out across the 10 local authorities to adopt carer-friendly policies so carers are able to continue with their employment. We've also got a young carer or a young adults offer. A young carer can be defined as a child or a young person under the age of 18 or a young adult between the age of 18 and 24 who provides regular and ongoing care and support to a family member. We have a dedicated offer for young carers. And we also value that carers are real and expert partners, and the carer's voice can help shape service delivery. Next slide, please, Rob. In Rochdale, we have the adult carers offer. There's many ways to get access to the offer. You can come through Rochdale Council and be signposted to services. We can signpost you to benefit checks, low-level equipment, assistive technology, carers reviews and assessments. We can also signpost you to the Carers Hub, and we have the offer of the 3-tier conversation model, as explained. We can signpost and refer carers to community health and wellbeing services. The Carers Hub offers a one-to-one group and peer support offer, including coffee and chat activities, trips, training and events. We also provide support for working carers. There's a 24-hour chat line managed by trained volunteers to offer emotional support and a listening ear. We've also, since COVID, we've had to improve, Encompass have had to improve their digital activities and the offer that they have available via digitization. The Encompass will help carers take a break. They also provide a counselling service, and they've got support groups for male carers, parent carers, so that each group has a support network. Next slide, please. The service, the carer service, is commissioned by Rochdale Council, and Encompass carry out all the carers offer. Referrals can be made you can contact us directly by our website at www.rochdale.gov.uk/carers. You can contact us through Adult Care on 0300 303 8886. You can contact us via care navigators, assessment support planners, social workers. You can also go and have a conversation with your GP and let them know you're a carer. They can signpost you to carer services. Inquiries can be made directly to the Rochdale Carers Hub at inquiries@rochdalecarers.co.uk. They offer a Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. phone line on 03450 138 208. And they also have a website, Encompass website. I've forgotten to put the link on here, but any referrals can, you can see what offer they have for carers on the website. Thank you for listening. Has anybody got any questions? We can take them at the end of the meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Calsoon. That was brilliant timing as well. And moving on now to the Carers Hub, if we can, please, over to Cara and Andrea.
Hi everyone, I've got Andrea Ashton with me here today, who is one of our young carers practitioners at the Carers Hub Rochdale. And I wanted to start today by showing what we call our storybook, which Andrea features in as the narrator. So I'm just going to share my screen with our video storybook, and then I will follow on with our small presentation after that. Okay, so it says it's on full screen. If someone can just give me a shout when they can see our logo.
We're on now, Cara.
Okay, and then give me another shout if it's not loud enough. I am practically on full volume.
Can't hear it proper, sorry, Cara. I don't know if that's just me.
No. Hi Tracy, say that again.
I can't hear it properly. I'm not sure if it's just me. How is it for you, Andrea?
It's a bit quiet for me.
I can't hear it, no.
Yeah, I couldn't hear
I've
it either.
gone right up to the max now, so let's see if that's any better.
Can't hear anything, I'm sorry.
No, Cara, it's something about the sound. It's not the level of it. It seems to be something about the sound effect.
Okay, I've just found in the more option a share sound, so let's see if that's any better.
Ages of 5 to 18 who have a caring role.
Oh, okay, brilliant. We've got there. Let me start from the beginning.
This is the Young Carers Storybook, brought together by the Young Carers Hub Rochdale. The Young Carers Hub supports children and young people from the ages of 5 to 18 who have a caring role for a family member. Children and young people do not always recognise the role that they have in their families. You may be able to help. Please support by making a referral or giving information about the Young Carers Hub Rochdale.
And we know that young carers form an invisible group of vulnerable children. Did you know there are estimated to be between 2,000 and over 6,000 young carers in the Rochdale Borough who will not be reaching their full potential due to the impact caring is having on their lives?
Welcome to the Storybook. This is us. This is what we like, feel and think about. More fun things we have done at the Young Carers Hub. Arts and crafts. Creative writing. Pizzas and pancakes. Trips out.
If you identify a young carer, please refer them to Carers Hub Rochdale. Please complete our electronic expression of interest form and email to inquiries@rochdalecarers.co.uk, or you can post it to free post at Carers Hub Rochdale. You can send an email to inquiries@rochdalecarers.co.uk, or you can telephone on 0345 0138 208. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
I've seen it many times and I still get goosebumps. Just an amazing kind of summary of what we do. Really, I don't need to say any more, but I will just go into a bit more depth using the presentation. If I can get off the screen here. So I'll just share again on the slideshow. And again, just give me a yell if you can see the logo.
Yep, we're okay there, Cara.
Okay, great. So as Kalsoom mentioned, we are the Carers Hub Rochdale, and today we're talking about our Young Carers Service. I believe that you'll be talking more about the Adult Carers Service in another event. It's not letting me move on. There we go. So yeah, Kalsoom has mentioned a few of these things, so I will whiz through them. But the Carers Hub is designed to be a single point of access for all carers of any age, from 5 to 99, and that includes our young carers, who we take from 5 all the way up to 18, our young adult carers, which are 18 to 24, and then adult, which is 25 plus. And our aim is to find and support hidden carers, so it's those that don't already identify as a carer, and obviously those who already do identify as a carer. And we ensure that all of our carers have access to information, advice, and a wide range of support services across the borough. And this will enable them to continue their caring role as long as they choose. And we hope to help to reduce the impact of that the caring role can have on their own health and well-being. So a young carer is anybody under the age of 18 who cares for a family member who may have an illness, disability, a mental health problem, or an addiction. And an example is Sarah, who is 14 years of age. She helps to care for her mum, who is in a wheelchair. And the kind of things that she does to help are getting mum dressed in the morning, making her little sister's breakfast, and also helping with cooking, the tea, and cleaning of the house. Other ways that our young carers might assist a family member in the home is providing company, emotional support, escorting them or transporting them if they're a bit older, supporting with shopping, housework, laundry, sometimes medication, ensuring safety in the day, around the home and outside of the home, and sometimes supporting during the night as well. They support them in accessing leisure and social activities, often help communicating with others, and often help caring for other children in the family if a parent may be unwell themselves. Kalsoom briefly touched on the impacts that being a carer can have on a person, and we put them in the categories of kind of emotional. We find our young carers can be very worried, very anxious or stressed. They can sometimes be frustrated as well. It often can have an impact on their education, They could be late or absent from school, have trouble concentrating, underachieve or not having time to complete work, possible behaviour problems, sometimes bullying as well. Social impact is often an issue with difficulties maintaining friendships, difficulties having the time or ability to access social activities, and they can often feel isolated with their caring role. We find it can affect our young carers' health. So obviously we've kind of mentioned the stress and the impacts it can have on mental health. But it can have an effect on their physical health as well, especially if they're doing physical caring. But there are many, many positive impacts as well that our young carers find. They are massively resilient. They are very, very patient. They are obviously very, very kind. We find they are very organised, very mature often for their ages. And they tell us they feel that they're learning new skills. And they can feel closer to their families through their caring role. So there can be some really positive impacts as well. So what kind of support can a young carer expect if they're referred into the service? We of course, we will meet with the young person, meet with their family, listen to them and find out what we think would make a difference to them. Provide them with information, advice and support about the person that they care for. We help them to get in touch with other local services that could be helpful to them. Take a break from their caring role through our activities and trips. We introduce them to other young carers so they can understand that they're not the only one in that situation, and receive peer support from other young people. Sorry, I've got a fly buzzing around me. We can help them with any issues with school. We often communicate with school. We advocate on their behalf, ensure that they're listened to and they have their voice heard. And we provide them with regular information and kind of information and guidance that way. So you saw some of the activities in our video. We are meeting face-to-face now in a COVID-safe manner, and that's for peer support, for fun activities and games. Our practitioners attend these activities so they can get support from them. We also organise trips together, and we have some sessions that can help them upskill in areas that may help their caring role. And in COVID, we've got a bit innovative online, like many services have had to. And at the moment, we're running craft sessions on Zoom where they get delivered a craft kit before each session. And then we get together with an art teacher who helps us with those sessions. We've had circus skills recently. We have lots of games and family nights and quizzes. Drop-in sessions where again they can talk to a practitioner or each other, and things like pizza making session where they got the ingredients for the pizza delivered to their home as well. We are on Facebook and Instagram, so if you do know any young people or their families who want to know a bit more about us, that's a really good place to start and see a few pictures of what we've been up to. And we do have access to a digital resource which has a range of kind of information on a range of different topics. It has some training, and it has an app that you can use to coordinate care if there's more than one carer in your family, which can be really, really useful. So if you do know anybody that you think might be a carer or know their family and they want to talk to us about it, they can email us, phone us. We have an inquiry form on the website. And what will happen is they will get a phone call from one of our practitioners, like Andrea, who's here with us today. We'll talk through, what they might require from the service. We'll complete our paperwork. We'll probably see them in school and find out what the best thing for them would be. We'll invite them along to our activities. And offer them one-to-one support. So Andrea would meet with them either in school or out and about in the community to talk in much more depth about how it is for them in their caring role. So we would love you to spread the word about what we do at the Carers Hub Rochdale. And even if you're not quite sure whether, you know, the person you're thinking about is a young carer, just give us a call and we can chat about it a bit more. You know, we're always there, and that's our inquiries team, so they know how to get hold of us, and we would love to hear from you. And as Kalsoon said, we will take any questions you have when the final speaker's been on.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Cara and Andreas. Appreciated. And as said, we will make sure that we can get that information out to people. I know some people have had some problems with the volume separate to you, Cara, as well. So we will share the slides at some point with you all. And we'd just like to move over now, if we can, to Marie. Marie Wilson is from Rochdale Parent Carers Voice, and I'd like to tell you a bit about the work that they do over there and how they can be a support to people locally. So over to you, Marie. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the first time I've shared my screen, so we have got a backup in case it all goes horribly wrong. So I'm Marie Wilson, and I'm one of the representatives from Rochdale Parent Carers Voice, and I'm just a volunteer with them. Oh, no. Right, so it does work. So the Parent Carers Voice was founded in 2003. And the Department for Education states that every local area should have a parents' forum for children with disabilities. And Rochdale's Parents' Forum for Children with Disabilities is also Rochdale Parent Carers Voice. And we are totally independent from the council. And the DFE provides forums with an annual grant every year, only if there's an agreement between the local authority and the forum to work together in a co-productive way. And we do feel that we work in a very co-productive way with the local authority. And that's mainly because we've been working with them for nearly 20 years and we've built up a really good mutual trust. So we feel that when we go to the table with them, we're equal partners at that table. But in the future, what we'd like to do is to build up a mutual trust with health services in Rochdale and with adult care, so that when we're at the table with them, we feel that we're an equal partner with what we feel at the moment, but we're working on it. So we are a community interest company. Some parents' forums are charities, but we decided to become a community interest company because we don't like the thought of people with disabilities being seen as a charitable case. So any parent or carer with a child aged 0 to 25 years can be a member. And we also have professional membership for professionals who work with children with disabilities. And we hold get-togethers on a monthly basis. Obviously, during COVID, we've had to do that over Zoom. We have a coffee and a chat, and sometimes we'll have a speaker or somebody who's coming to consult with us about a particular topic. But the really important thing and fantastic thing in Rochdale is that at our meetings, we have the children, the disability services and SENDIAS in attendance. Now, for people who don't know SENDIAS, that's a special educational needs and disability information, advice and support service. So they're an independent organisation that support families who have children with disabilities. And in Rochdale, the SENDIAS organisation is run by Bernardo's. So when we have our meetings, parents can go out into a separate room with the head of Children with Disabilities Service or SENDIAS and air their particular issues and hopefully get some resolution. We also have a website and we have a very active Facebook chat page, which is just for parents. We post information on the chat page, but parents also post questions. There's somebody who's on on the committee for the parent carer voice will reply to them, or more often it's other parents. And you find the same kind of questions coming up time and time again. Things like, where can you get adult size swim? I don't like to use the word nappies, but swim nappies for adults so that they can go swimming. And you'll always have, that's a regular question. Another question is, where can you get a Houdini harness for the back of the car so that a larger child who's too big for an ordinary car seat can't get out of the seat when they're on the motorway. And then sometimes you get totally new questions, and somebody will always be able to answer that question or point you in the right direction. So we're based at the Blue Pit Mill on Queensway in Castleton. We've been there for a number of years, 7 or 8 years, I think. And we've got offices and some training rooms. And prior to COVID, we made a little bit of income by renting out our training rooms because they are really quite nice. So we have a number of reps, and all our reps receive our training before they can go out and represent us. And the training covers topics like confidentiality, speaking for all parents rather than just speaking for yourself. They always have to provide feedback to us if they go and represent us somewhere. And they usually start off by shadowing an experienced rep. And I think it's because our reps have gone through this training that we've built up that trust with the local authority. So they realise that, you know, if a rep's at a meeting, they're not going to go and tell all and sundry what's happened in that meeting. They'll only share what they're able to share. So our reps often sit on interview panels for a role where the job involves children with disabilities, and sometimes those jobs can be hands-on jobs, like an educational psychologist, for example, or they can be more strategic and managerial roles, and sometimes we're asked to sit on interview panels for really quite senior roles in the local authority. We also have representatives who sit on numerous strategic groups like the Children with Disabilities Partnership Board. I'll let you read all those other groups that we sit on, but we feel that we're really involved with the decision-making groups in Rochdale for children with disabilities. And what's really good in Rochdale is that a lead from Rochdale Parent Carers Voice, usually it's our chair, attends the fortnightly catch-up with the Children's Integrated Commissioner for the Local Authority in Health and the Assistant Director for Early Help and Schools and the Head of Children with Additional Needs Service. So we feel that we're there at the table with quite senior people who can make decisions, and because it's every fortnight, we can bring concerns of our parents to the people who can make the decisions, and we can bring them in a timely manner as those concerns arise. And other things that we do are we get involved in training for parents, training for practitioners, and the best types of training are where we have the practitioners and the parents together in the room at the same time. And that's all within our remit of supporting and increasing co-production. We do have to generate a bit of income. We apply for grants, and we sometimes submit bids to do specific projects and get money in that way. Over the years, whenever funding allows, we've been able to organise family fun days, which are always really well attended, and get lots of fantastic feedback about that. And we always get involved in the annual information day for children with disabilities. And we more recently, we started to liaise with other groups who work with or support families who have children with additional needs. So this is just, I don't expect you to read all this, but this is just a flyer for some training that we put on a few years ago for parents who have children who are coming up to transition really and young adulthood. And the topics included things like personal stories from young people who have made positive changes to get a great life, independence, personal budgets, relationships, employment ideas, after school education, opportunities, benefits and incomes, which is always a hot topic, wills and trusts, planning for the future, and keeping fit and healthy, which, I mean, I know that's important for everybody, but I think, as the people from the Carers Hub have said, you know, your health can quite often suffer if you're a carer, or if you have a disability, it's sometimes more difficult to keep healthy. We also get involved in specific projects. Sometimes we get involved and then wish we hadn't bothered because they turn out to be really difficult. But we do get involved in projects. One that we did last year when we were in lockdown was that we got involved with distributing the sunflower lanyards to every child in the borough that had a disability. So we sent out packs to thousands of families with the sunflower lanyards, which I don't know whether anybody knows what a sunflower lanyard is. Was somebody asking a question then? No, right. The sunflower lanyards are what people wear to say that they're exempt from wearing a face covering. Also last year, when we went into lockdown, all our members were sent an art pack. There were different art packs depending on the age of the child, because obviously everybody was having to homeschool. And then this year, we've sent out a self-care pack to all the parents with just a few goodies that we've managed to source, and a leaflet about our service, and also about how self-care is important and people shouldn't forget to look after themselves. And what's been really good to know is that when these packs have been dropped off to our members, well, I'm saying it's good to know, I don't know whether you call it good, but some of the parents have actually got quite emotional when we've handed over the pack, because during COVID they felt extremely isolated, and we've given them the packs and they've said we didn't know that anybody cared, and they've you know, they've been crying on the doorstep. So they are very much appreciated. And we've also set up a uniform swap because we know that a lot of families are struggling at the moment. A lot have been furloughed, a lot have lost their jobs. A lot of people bought new uniform and then children weren't in school much because of COVID. So some of it is nearly new. So we set up this uniform swap. So our group is a strategic partner for the local authority and the clinical commissioning group, and we aim to work together to make sure that local services are as good as they can possibly be for children in Rochdale who have additional needs, and for their families as well. And we're not a support group as such, but natural support comes from us all getting together with that shared passion for our children. So that's it. I shall stop sharing now, and if anybody's got any questions when we come to question time, I'll be happy to see if I can answer them.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Marie. We will stop recording now. Thank you.